dedication, proper nutrition, proper hydration, and work ethic. That's it. I told you, we're gonna have fun on this channel. Hey, welcome back. This is day 4, and today we're gonna be training chest. Now, because I know you don't wanna look at my ugly mug all the time, I got my boy here, Greg.
What's going on, everyone?
All his information will be in a link so you can follow him if you like what he does. As you can see, he's been in the fitness game a lot longer than I have. So we're gonna train chest. We're gonna warm up. What are we gonna start with?
Just gonna do some chest flies to warm up. Get the blood in the chest.
Chest flies, and we'll show you 3 different versions so you understand how versatile this machine is. For the other 2 days, because one was just a cardio day, but for the other 2 days we started up here because this is the least impact on your body. Your joints move very easily. Anytime you've got, you know, your pulley systems, you're really minimizing the amount of impact and joint compression you have. So I guess, you know what? Let's let Greg get in on the first one.
I'm getting in.
You've seen enough of me. There you go. Definitely going to point out the fact that we are not going heavy. We don't care what other people are looking at.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
He gives less of a shit than I do because he does not care who's looking. He knows he needs to warm up, and if he hurts himself here, the rest of the day's shot, the rest of the week's shot, maybe 2 weeks to shot. We're not trying to impress anybody.
One of my favorite sayings is you're coming here to make yourself better. You don't want to come here and hurt yourself. So anytime you come here and hurt yourself, I've never hurt myself in 7 years of working.
He's clearly smarter than I am because I've done some stupid shit in the past where, I got 15 years on Greg, but we all have lifted with the wrong piece of our body, maybe the smaller head, competing with everybody else, and we do some dumb things. So I'm just going to show you a version. You just bring it in. Look how easy it is. And we're going to allow just a little bit. You're warming up, so you don't need to go all the way back at the beginning. Go back as far as you can, bring it forward, and really, really squeeze the chest. These are your pectoral muscles. What you're trying to do with this exercise is you're really trying to add that separation line to the inside. But again, at this point, we're just warming up. You do as many of these as you want. You don't need to max out. You don't need to burn out, none of that. I've got a little bit of a lean forward. That way I'm not swinging at all, but you'll notice my spine stays straight and I'm just moving the hands, bringing them in. You want a little bend in the elbow so you're not locking out, hurting your joints, and you just bring it there. Another modified version of it is bring it in with your elbows together and then push out. You can do that later on when you're adding a bit more weight, and what that does, it adds a little more mass to the inside of your chest. You really feel it. You bring it in, you can feel it in the middle of the chest, into the chest, but when you do this, you get right in the center. So I'll just do 3 or 4 more. And again, like we've mentioned in every other episode, the most important action in any exercise is the negative. So control them on the way back. You can bring it in, but you make sure you control them on the way up. And none of this rocking your body and swinging shit. Put your phone away, Greg.
Sorry, guys. Ooh, something's beeping at me. Uh-oh.
So Greg does it slightly differently than I do because he knows where he's going to target. He's taller than me, obviously, much like everybody else in the world. He pivots at the waist, but he's not swinging his body. He's not using his weight to bring the weight forward. He's keeping that exact same angle in his body because he knows where he needs to work. You'll figure that out as you work out. You'll target the areas you want, and sometimes you need to modify the exercises, but we're showing you the basics so you can get into the gym and work out safely without hurting yourself. Not even increasing the weight at this point. We're just warming up. Again, during warm-up, do however many you want. You're not looking to burn out. You're not looking to lift any heavy weights. You're just warming up the joints and your target muscle group. And while you're warming up, you might as well be working on your breathing. You know, figure out whether you like to breathe in or breathe out on which motion. I like to breathe in as I go out, and then the opposite on the way back. But you find out what you're comfortable with. But always get that rhythm done, because again, if you hold your breath, you're gonna run out of oxygen in the muscle groups really quick. And if you want, you can even hold them together for a little bit, not with your arms. Like, yeah, your arms are holding the cables or the handles, but really focus at the end on flexing your chest. Yeah, like that's already starting to feel that tension in there. And as you get more warmed up, bring the handles back just a little bit farther. All right, we'll do one more.
I'm gonna go up a little bit. Still, just
Greg's
a little
gonna
bit.
go up.
Just a little bit. I'm really glad that you brought up the breathing, because I always comment on that. A lot of people, when you see, is they'll be trying to finish their rep and they'll be like,
yeah, they'll breathe out and lose all their oxygen.
Yeah.
And then 2 reps later, they don't realize why they're getting lightheaded.
yeah. Or they'll hold their breath while they're repping. They'll go, and then do 2 or 3 reps before they breathe. Yeah. I said I didn't hurt myself. The only time I ever hurt myself was for about a week, and I got what they called an overexertion headache.
Yeah,
I was training with someone I didn't normally train with, and he's much more mature than me, way stronger than me. So I was trying to keep up with him. Again, I was young, and we were curling, and I was out of breath as I was trying to finish the rep, and I was trying to finish it, but I had no oxygen in my bloodstream. Then it instantly sounded like a bomb went off in my head. Then right after, the back of my head was just throbbing. And then basically, I chatted with chiropractor, doctor, and they said, yeah, you just overexerted yourself and your lymph nodes are swollen. After that,
crazy.
Yeah, I had to take a week and a half off, because every time I go up the stairs,
you get dizzy, right?
well, yeah, as soon as my heart rate increased just slightly, headache instantly. So breathe.
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 Yep. All right, last set for me with a little bit more weight. So after we get good and warmed up, well, I don't know about Greg, but I'll take the hoodie off so we can show you the target muscle groups.
Hey.
I know people say, oh yeah, you gotta get a workout, so you get that pump going on, then you take off the pump cover, all that kind of stuff. The reality is it's good to keep yourself, if you're warming up, why would you expose your skin? Like, we're in Canada, it's winter right now. You don't want to go from -20, so basically, like, what is that in Fahrenheit? I don't know, it's cold, it's well below freezing. You don't want to go from that to a higher heart rate and straight to exercise. Okay, so we'll get right back to our first set. We will still start high, but then we'll show you 2 other versions of the same exercise. All right. I'm gonna stress this again. If you don't have a water bottle, make sure you're going to the water source, wherever it is in your gym, at least every second set. I always advocate for at least a liter every 30 to 35 minutes of any kind of training. If you're doing heavier training, up it. So if I'm here for an hour, you're for damn sure I'm gonna drink at least 2 liters of this. I've only gone through warm up and I'm already a third the way through my first liter. If I don't spill all of it on myself. So quick shout outs. We're here at Anytime Fitness. Thank you very much, Matt, for hooking us up with your facility. This is awesome. I really strongly urge anyone in the Edmonton area to check out their facilities. They got everything you need.
Strathcona.
Strathcona.
Yeah, Anytime Fitness Strathcona.
Anytime Fitness Strathcona. He's got a few more locations. We will link them all for you. And of course, you know I got to shout out my boy Trent with State North. He's got a brand new store opening. We'll highlight that in a couple weeks. He's giving us all the apparel, so can't argue with that. So we're gonna get into the first working set here. I'm gonna bring up the weight just a little bit. Now we're no longer warming up. We're gonna do our first working set. So on a cable machine, when you're doing flies, the direction that you pull is the direction that you're working the muscle. So if you're bringing it high to low, you're working down here. Makes sense. And again, focus on the contraction at the end and then a controlled return on the negative motion. The negative motion is returning it to its starting spot. If this is the starting spot and you're bringing it forward, that's the positive. The return is the negative. So that's the negative. As you bring it down, you flex in the part of the chest that you're trying to work. Now, when you start getting into your working sets, you dictate your pace and how many reps you want to do. If you're just getting started, don't worry about lifting heavy. Don't worry about that, oh, if you're building mass, you do 5 to 7 reps. No. You do what you're comfortable with. Don't hurt yourself, okay? Hurting yourself is definitely the worst way to get any kind of gains. When they talk about tearing down muscle for rebuilding, that means micro tears, not tearing it off the joints, not tearing it off the muscle heads. That's a terrible idea. No pun intended. So for me, because I'm more interested in getting my strength back, this is again, first week at the gym, I'm gonna keep my rep range 12 to 14. And again, don't slam your weights. Everybody at the gym thinks you're a dick if you let go of the stuff and make it and potentially damage the equipment.
Another great point.
That's all we do is make good points.
That's all we do.
I talk like I know what I'm doing.
I was even gonna say, one thing you'll notice for me, especially with chest, whether it's flies or anything, is even for something like this, it's very simple. I always use both hands to get it into position because I don't want to potentially try and pull it from up here and tear my chest. It's just,
yes, I've actually seen a lot of people, they get so worked up that they grab them and then they lean forward with their arms back here. That's a really good way to tear at the beginning. So with the bend in at the midsection there, are you aiming to get mid-chest?
Yeah, a little bit. Like,
okay.
I don't know, I never really enjoyed this workout just standing upright like this.
Oh, that's because you're weak in the lower chest, that's why. There we go.
I don't know, it just...
It's like those guys that arch on the bench so they can turn it into a decline and make it easier. I'm so glad all the lifting commissions have banned back arches.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that was never a good idea. And you see people in here training, like doing multiple reps with that back arch. That is so stupid. You look stupid, and everyone knows that you can't actually lift. So I'm so happy when they ban that. So another way to do it, like Greg was saying, you can start it off by doing that with 2 hands, or you just start further back into the machinery and bring it down like that, and then walk forward. Both will work. So just to get as many exercises in as possible today, normally I'd like to do 3 or 4 sets. We're gonna do 2 at 3 different heights. So we'll do 6 exercises. Well, sorry, 6 sets, 3 different exercises on here, targeting different areas of the chest. Like for me, I like to breathe out on the positive, breathe in on the negative. It's almost like it works well with the expansion and contraction of the breath on your chest. So, there we go. Already feel this working. Oh, there we go. So now what we're gonna do, it's so simple to work a different part of your chest on the same piece of equipment. You just change the height of the pulley system.
Quick maths.
There you go. Nope, one more.
Tip. They have numbers and marks on them so you know which height is which. Sorry, Chris.
I was looking, I just couldn't tell. I couldn't remember what number I left it at the other side.
Oh, gotcha. There you go. And one thing again, shout out to this Anytime Fitness on the racks over there. We might not get to those today, but they even have the racks numbered because all the time if you're setting up the adjustments for your squat, almost every time you're gonna almost mess it up one time, right? So now that it's numbered,
Definitely.
you always get it.
You're up,
Okay.
tough guy.
So for this one, I already know I'm gonna go a little bit lighter.
And the reason it is because now you don't have as much of your body weight involved.
Yeah.
Much like we were joking around about the people that competitive lift and arch their back to turn it into a decline. It's very easy to push away from your body when you got the body weight. Here, the opposite weight is back here. There's no body out here. You can't use your legs. Now you notice Greg is adjusting not his grip, but the way his elbows are positioned. He's protecting his elbows from hyperextension by a little more bend in it.
Yeah.
This will engage the biceps a bit, but you're not doing a bicep curl. He's keeping a bend in it to protect the joint, but at the same time, it gives him the leverage on the chest.
Nice and isolated.
So, again, like we said, you're gonna hit the part of the chest that is in the direction that the handle is moving away from the machine. So if I'm going this way, where am I hitting? Now I'm hitting the center of the chest. Up here, bottom of the chest, here, middle of the chest. For myself, I still like to keep a fairly straight arm. You always leave a little bit of bend in the elbow because you do not want to lock out, because you won't notice it until you go to let go that you've hyperextended your elbows. It seems okay until you go and let go of it. So now you can actually see center chest, it's really starting to compress. It'll look even better when I'm leaner. Right now I'm probably up around 15, 16%. My end goal is probably somewhere around 8 or 9. But that's more so controlled with diet. A lot of people think you got to do a ton of cardio to drop weight. No, cardio will work your cardiovascular system. And it's better than doing nothing as far as weight loss. But a lifting program will burn far more calories and far more fat than a cardio workout. You'll never hear that from your cardio influencers who want to sell you some stupid program. But I'm telling you the truth right now. Lifting drops weight. And if you're not lifting for bulk, you don't have to worry about massing up. Like I said, we're only going to do 2 at each height just to show you the motions.
One thing as well, I think the reason why I keep a bit more bend in my elbows is just because I'm taller and I'm lanky, right? So I got a huge range of motion. So I think that's just what I do to control it. And then also, like, if my arms were fully extended on a machine like this, kind of have to keep it in. But if we were at like a wider table set, then that's when I'd probably keep my arms a lot more locked in.
Yeah.
For my tall guys out there and gals.
Yeah, we don't judge. There's no discrimination on gender here.
Yeah.
We'll actually have some female guests on next week to address some of the questions that our female audience had about specific workouts tailored towards females, which is a legitimate question. So we will have experts in to show you how to do the things you've asked for. Not that I should be bugging Greg, but Greg, have you been drinking your water?
You could always drink more.
All right, drink more water.
I have been this workout, but throughout the day, probably could drink more.
Yeah, I was slacking today. So, we're about 15 minutes in. I got roughly half a liter down. I'm not gonna lie, I hadn't taken in enough carbs today. So, pre-getting here, about half hour ago, I ate a handful of dark chocolate chips. Probably not the best way to do it, but I didn't want to die out halfway through the workout with these young punks here showing me up. Now, you don't have to keep your hands together on the handles if you don't want to. I've actually found, just because of the size of my hands, I'll knock knuckles. So I can get that little extra range if I open my hands and then close. And it's that last bit at the end that really compresses and really gets that muscle group that you're working right there. All right, now we'll hit the bottom. A lot of people don't like this exercise because this is typically the one you can put the least amount of weight on. But if you want this, you want that shelf, so you can put a cup of coffee up there, you're gonna have to do this kind of stuff. Get in there and show them, Greg.
Excellent point. I dropped the weight way down on this.
Yes, this is a focus exercise, not a mass exercise. We can show you how to add mass here later. This is to really get a burn and isolate those upper pectoral muscles towards the inside. This is what gives you that squared off chest look that looks really good when you're on the beach.
And this one's one of my staples because genetically, no matter what I've tried, upper chest, I've had to work extra hard on. So I do this pretty much every single workout.
He said hard on.
And since I got more range of motion here, keep my arms a bit more straight.
And you'll notice that he's actually bringing his insides of his wrist together. And that's super important because the closer you get your hands together, the more it works the center of the muscle section. All those presses are great, but they all work the center of each individual muscle, like here. But what happens when you bring your hands together is he's now hitting here.
Ooh. That's good.
And that's the one that feels good. So yeah, same thing. Start. You don't want to turn these into curls. You do want to keep your arms as straight as possible because the moment you curl it and you bring it up, you're working your anterior delts. So I suggest getting a little wider base on these ones, keeping a little bit of bend in your knees, and then, like I said, I like about that much angle on my elbow, and then up. And the closer you bring those handles, the more you get that upper shelf on the inside of your chest. And if you want to take it one step further, you bring the handles up really high. But I tell you, you don't need heavy weights. I am absolutely serious. This is slow, controlled, and make sure you control that negative, because the way down is what does all the work. You typically use a little bit of body momentum whenever you do your initial lift. So the slow down is what actually puts all the stress on the muscles. And don't bring it down here. Don't relax. Time under tension, like we keep telling you. Always keep tension on your arms. Because the moment you come to the bottom of the cycle and let go, you're wasting that entire 3/4 of a second. Why work out if you're not going to be efficient? I think the one thing opposite of Greg, he was saying that was always a problem area for him. My delts and upper chest, I've had since my early teens. Me, it was always a problem building my arms and my hamstrings. But know your strengths. You can't just work out the parts that you like the most, because then you have an unbalanced body. You should be attacking your weak points more often, just to make sure you have a balanced physique.
I love that you said you want to expose the muscle to see it working too, because that's what I always did. Like I would wear a stringer when I had a chicken breast chest, because it would just make me see the muscles contracting as I'm working it. And it works. And
you'll always do 1 or 2 more reps, and you can see that flex and the muscle fibers twitching.
And even Arnold would say if guys were having troubles with their legs or they had an issue with their calves, he would make them wear shorts around all the time. So then that's all they see. They have no option but to make it better.
Yeah, you can't hide it.
But it's funny that you say arms and hamstrings. Those are 2 of my strong suits. So you guys will see that once you get into it genetically, everyone kind of has strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I've always told people is don't go to the guy, like let's say you're deficient in arms like I am. Don't go to the guy in the gym with the giant arms, because that's what he was gifted in. Go to the guy really working to bring up a lagging body part that happens to be the arms, because he's going to give you all the tricks, because chances are he has the same problem you do. That's the reality. Don't go to the guys like Rolly and be like, man, how do you get those 24-inch arms? For him, he probably had them when he was like 16. I'm actually still feeling the effects of my arm workout, because I wanted to show people who also have the trouble with the biceps. I was trying to show them how to get the quickest growth out of them.
Yeah.
And I'm regretting it today. Shouldn't have gone that. I didn't go heavy. You guys saw the video. I kept it light, but the intensity, that still breaks the muscle fiber down so quickly. Felt good at the time. Did we go up in weight? No. That's okay.
It was a good weight, so I left it.
It's a good weight. Okay, I'm going to stress this again. The weight is irrelevant. How you do the exercise is everything. And if you want to get even more fine tuning on it, when you're doing this, the closer you get to the bottom of it, because you're doing this motion, up top it actually starts kind of pinching you. If you set your hands up for this one down in here, you actually get a better range, and you can touch the butts of them together up here. Controlled motions everywhere. You see people doing this, they think they're impressing somebody. That's great for cardio. That does nothing for muscle. Slow. Hit all those stabilizers. It's great to build the muscle bulk and the muscle bellies, but the stabilizers are what give you that really shredded look as you lean up and you see those muscles twitch, the little subsidiary muscles, the stabilizers. Especially if any of you are in combat sports, you know that it's not the muscle mass that works for you. It's the stabilizers, the ones that keep you on your feet when someone's trying to take you down. The ones that help you change directions when you miss a strike or you're trying to get out of the way of one. Now, those of you who've been punched in the face, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't get this pretty by sitting around in front of a mirror doing your makeup. All right, So I think we're done on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go get another exercise. We want to respect everyone who's in the gym. So we'll get set up over there and we'll be right back at you. So, one of the best mass exercises you can do is these are referred to as hammer strength machines. They control the motion through a pivot point. You're just pushing through the one range of motion, and the entire thought process behind it is you focus on exactly where you're going to do. Greg mentioned that one of his weaker areas is upper chest, so we came to the incline version, which means the end result is every chest press starts mid-chest, but where it ends dictates the direction again that you're working. So this is going to end up here, which means, as you can see, this is exactly where it's going to hit. So I'll go through a range. We've just got a plate on it. I'm sure some of you can do much more than that. Others, please don't even start with a plate. If it's your first time on the machine, no weight, just use the handles, because the handles must weigh 15 pounds a piece. Just get used to the motion, please, first. We don't want any injuries. I've used these quite a bit. Now, these adjust the seat height. I like the handle roughly where I want this to work. So roughly right there. I want this top 3 inches of my chest to pop when I'm done going through 3 exercises, or 3 sets of this exercise. So you can choose where your comfortable grip is. As you can see, I'm wider than the area getting into here, so I like to roughly be on the outside of my shoulders. You go where you're comfortable. This is where I like to work on. And then it's strictly a press all the way through, like that. And some people, again, will grab the handle. I just like to press. I found when I grab, I focus too much on my forearms, because that's your grip strength. So I just put it right on the palms in line with my arm and push. And if you want, right at the top, make sure you squeeze it up there and then bring it down. But again, you're not locking out those elbows. That's a lock, that's wrong. What I've done there is now I've put this weight on my shoulders. Keep it like this, and you'll always keep your chest loaded up. And the beauty of this machine is you can stop anywhere in the range, just rest it, feel where it's working. If you want to get that negative, instead of doing 3 presses, you can do a single press, but controlled on the way down. I'm telling you right now, this hurts a lot more than doing 3 or 4 presses. And if you just want to challenge yourself, push it back up. Do that a few times. Oh man, I'm really feeling that tricep exercise. Okay, that'll be it for me. Now Greg's up.
First thing you guys will notice, just a little bit down.
Yeah, Greg's not as vertically challenged as me.
Vertically challenged. Make sure I got no nips popping out. Got paid
this is
$2.99 for that.
PG, yeah. Gonna get demonetized.
Yeah.
Join our OnlyFans.
Same thing, really nice squeeze at the top. These ones, once you've worked out for a little bit, I always find you can add a decent bit of weight. But again, if you go slower, you still get it done with lighter weight. There we go.
Okay, as you can see, I guess we're going a little heavier. I can already feel it. I love it. This is one of my favorite exercises. For the majority of my life, I like to use just dumbbells because I love bringing in the stabilizers. I built, for me, a very, very large pectoral area, which I really liked whenever I'd walk around to have the big shoulder caps, the big chest. The only problem is that I have to bring up my lagging arms, and that took an extra year. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Comments?
One of my favorite exercises. I do like it. So I haven't been on a machine like this in over 2 years. But what I have been doing for the last 6 months to get prepared to start working out again, just because it's what I did at home or wherever I was, I drop and do 50 push-ups because I like keeping this part of my body at least strong enough that I can roll my ass out of bed. Good.
I was gonna say, I do gotta remember that he took 2 years off, so
Yeah, go easy on me.
It doesn't matter how much you've worked out in your life. If you take that much time off, you gotta kind of ease into it, and you'll feel it. He's gonna feel it in the next couple of days.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt. Like, I'm expecting to. The funny thing about working chest is when you get up in the morning and you think you're rolling out of bed and you've got yourself covered, you end up falling off the bed. All right, so I guess screw going light. Don't worry, I would never risk injury. If I didn't think I could do this for at least 8, I'm not gonna bother doing it. I'm not doing single rep maxes. You'll never see me do that at all on this channel, just because I don't believe in single rep maxes. No one's paying me to win a competition, so I'm not gonna be running a competition. So let's get this done. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. There we go. Easy work. There we go. There we go.
Okay, here comes 8.
Up.
Oh, it is not. See, I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Okay.
That's good though.
Good. This isn't horseshoes. Close doesn't count.
Insert Rocky theme song.
Insert Rocky theme song. Little Italian trying to lift a mountain. Oh, well, this feels even worse. Nope, it ain't going. That's it. That's it.
Oh, well done.
So Greg's gonna upstage me.
I don't know if I will.
Well,
I'm big on preaching that. I'm no strong man. I am no strong man. But let's see. Okay. And also same to Chris. Obviously, I'm not gonna try and 1 rep kill myself, but it's good to push yourself. So here we go. Chris, beat me. Whew. You got more than me, Chris.
So I'm gonna do one extra set, because like I said, I love the incline. Plus I'm also going to be, I need to shoot some other media, we'll call it, for our other channels, other social media and stuff like that. And I need to make the point that you don't have to lift heavy. I just went up to the extra quarter plate. Clearly that was too much for this point in us getting back into working out. So I dropped it. I gotta make a video about don't go too heavy. Gym isn't the place to be showing off. Don't go too heavy, because hurting yourself is just gonna hurt your gains. You're gonna have to spend too much time out of the gym recovering. You lift properly. Don't worry about lifting heavy. Take it at your own pace. No one else is working out for you, so don't work out to impress them. All right. Now this is probably as straightforward of a chest exercise as you can possibly get. This is just gonna be a flat, plain dumbbell press. And guess what we're not gonna do at the end of it? We're not gonna drop our weights like a douchebag, okay? You can bring them down on your knee however you want. If you have to, start here and lift them up as you lean back. But guess what? You're gonna bring them down the same way and then respectfully put them on the ground. No one gives a shit about how much you're lifting. Whatever you think you're lifting that you need to slam it down to show off, no one gives a shit. You only look like an idiot and you damage equipment, you damage the floor, and then all the rest of the gym members have to up their fees to replace all that shit. So don't be a dick. Be respectful. Is it really that difficult? All right, back to the regularly scheduled program. Flat bench, dumbbell presses. Again, don't lock out at the top. Bring them down as far as you're comfortable and just press up. Now, one thing that Arnold used to do is he wouldn't bring it all the way up. He'd leave it under, find out where the most tension is and don't pass it. A lot of people go up here, which you can do, but I find I actually work really well. I actually tilt them when I come down, almost to my armpits, and then press up to about right there. I really like this range. It activates all the stabilizers. I know it's gonna feel awkward for a lot of you because a lot of you just wanna hold it flat and do this because that's what everybody else is doing. But just try it like this for a little bit. Tilt it in and don't go all the way up. A modified version, and I'm not saying to start this the first time you do it, is you can actually, if you're comfortable with the weights, you can press up really quick, lower it really slow. Press up really quick, lower it really slow. Now that we're getting closer to the end of our workout, you're probably targeting the 8 to 12 rep range. Might help you to have a spot if you're gonna try going heavy, but I'm not. I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna respectfully sit up with the weights. Watch this, you can put them down without dropping them. If you have to drop them, you have really weak forearms. That's it, because all you have to do at that point is hold on to them. So if you have to drop it and you can't hold on to it, why would your forearms be weak? You just worked your chest. You're just trying to get attention. That makes you a douchebag. We're over.
I don't think for this one, but good point. Okay.
No, when we start getting into 3-digit dumbbells, we'll do it.
Yeah. And then again, I think you already mentioned it, but we're just getting some more exercises in the studio here. So obviously, don't have the heaviest weights, but that's okay. Get a good isolation and just feel those muscles work.
Yeah, Greg has agreed to keep the weights a little lower than he usually would, just for the sake of demonstration. Because I told him, look, a lot of the people watching this channel, it might be the first time they're getting to the gym, and we don't want to show them lifting 3-digit dumbbells. No one needs to start with 100-pound dumbbells.
I remember I was working in a job trailer and I brought a set of 25 and 35-pound dumbbells. If I showed you guys pictures, it was one of the most jacked points in my life at that time. I was 19 or 20. And just push-ups, rows, curls, lateral raises, just everything. But
I'll be completely honest, people ask how I keep the mass where I like it. It's all push-ups, man. The rest of this is just for, you know, the aesthetic of fine-tuning it. But
push-ups is a staple.
It is the, yes, thank you. It is the staple that I always tell you guys about. It works your core, because the position you start from is a plank. So if you're gonna do a plank normally, oh, planks are so hard. Well, guess what? Start adding the arm motion. You can work the anterior delts. You can work the inner, outer chest with a push-up. You can work your biceps, your triceps. It's a complete workout at home. And you're also stabilizing your core and your legs.
It's a gooder.
And I mean, just look at how much tricep you use when you're doing presses. So everything works together. Like, I'm not lean yet, but as you can see, even in the mirror, I don't know if you'll be able to see it that far from my right arm, that's all popping back there. You know what that comes from? Not throwing the weights around and pressing slowly and flexing everywhere that you want, contracting the muscles that you want to work. You know, I think it was Arnold that says he did his concentration curls with 40-pound dumbbells. Mr. Olympia, 4-time Mr. Olympia. 4? How many did he win? It was 4, right?
I thought it was 7, but
oh,
could be wrong. Anyways.
I feel stupid now.
No.
Oh, you know what? No, it was 7 because we were concerned that Phil Heath was going to tie him because Ronnie has 8.
7, it's 7.
It's 7, yeah, sorry, my mistake. I was getting everything mixed up. But anyways, Schwarzenegger only needs 40s. I don't think I'm ever going to be at the point where I need more than 40s. All right, right back at it. And make sure you're positioned properly on the bench. There's no point throwing off your balance or working one arm more than the other. Even for myself, I can feel that my right delt is a little tighter than my left, so I'm not getting the full range of motion. And it's constantly on my mind, so even if I was further into my workout, as you can see, my right bicep is shaking a little bit from that tightness in my right delt. I'm not going to go heavier because I don't want to test that. This isn't hurting, but always read your body. It doesn't matter if you did 60-pound presses last time. If this time around your body's not telling you that you can do 60, don't force it. Injuries do not make your life any better.
Good?
Good.
Good, good, good. One thing I'll add here, Mac, is I always use my head as a point of stability, and then my feet, the way I have them planted on the ground. You don't want to have your legs all over the place like this. Keep your feet nice and close to the bench, flat to the floor, because your body can generate strength from every point. See, it's only 40 pounds, but when you're going slow and steady, you feel it.
You're waking up all those muscles you never knew you had. Like I said, my right delt is a little tight inside, right in the anterior portion. It's okay to take a quick break. You just see, like right there, you notice how it's not going for, yeah, I'm really noticing it there. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going any heavier than this. Especially in, like I said, first week back. Not interested in injuring anything. Got to keep ourselves strong and healthy. So what I might do is just do cardio tomorrow to give it one extra day. But as of right now, I really can't bring it much further back than there. Whereas this one, I can do this. If you, cameraman Mac, I can go to there with this one, but way back here with this one. So something's binding in there. I could go further back, but it's starting to feel pinched, so I'm not going to. So we'll just keep pressing forward. And like I said, maybe I'll do cardio tomorrow and give it an extra day's rest. Or legs, one of the two. So what we're actually gonna do, just to show you another exercise, because we're gonna round this day off fairly soon. Maybe this is a little too heavy to be doing this right after I said that my rotator's not that great, but we're gonna do flies. Maybe we're doing 40-pound flies and maybe I'm going to the hospital. Let's find out. Okay. I actually much prefer to do these incline because again, it works the upper chest. It's a great exercise. Yeah, we might be going lighter. Let's see.
Nice.
I'll do a modified one with bent elbows just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely feeling the tension, but I think we're gonna be okay. So but again, a little bit of bend in the elbows because you don't want to be going straight out and destroying your elbows. Oh. Hey Greg.
Yes, sir.
Can you bring me the 25s?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be a macho man today. No one here is trying to impress anybody.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to do an exercise so I can feel it properly, not hurt myself. You guys, if anybody's laughing watching this video, it's not going to bother me at all. What would bother me? Having to take 2 weeks off because I do something stupid here. 25 it is. Center myself on the bench better. Another thing I'd watched Arnold do back in the day, or videos from back in the day, is don't bring the dumbbells together because when you do this, you're loading up the shoulder. When you stop here, it's still on the chest. See, closing it, I don't know if you watched, but it kind of flexed my shoulders, whereas bring it here keeps it on the chest. What you can do to finish off this exercise, because this is the last exercise we're doing, is you can do presses from the hammer position like this. And this feels like absolute crap when you're tired.
Good kind of crap.
Yeah, the good kind of crap. Oh. This feels like 3 plates at the end of a workout. Yeah, I don't typically start increasing my weight until like the 4th workout of that body part. Not the 4th workout, but the 4th time I do chest.
So
then I'll start increasing the weight.
So about 4 to 5 weeks, eh?
Yeah. In the first month, you're just asking to be injured. It'll usually take most people 2 to 3 weeks just to get over that initial pain of using their muscles in ways that they never used it before. That's people that just go to the gym for the first time. If you're returning like I am after over 2 years, I can still feel it in the morning.
How many years did you train before this? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, not a problem. I trained weights starting when I was 17 at school till about 19, but I focused more on martial arts, different forms, and that was boxing. Took it up again in my mid to late 20s, and then basically I was on and off through my 30s, and the last time I worked out was when we went to Africa to build that school, so it is what it is. It was really important because I knew I'd be changing climates. I knew that my cardio needed to be brought up. I had to train to be under more extreme, just environment. As I said, we went to Africa to build a school. So for the 2 months ahead of that, I made sure to drop at least 12, 15 pounds, get myself used to the type of diet they have over there, and made sure I could lift, because there's no, all those bricks we lifted by hand. There were no wheelbarrows, there were no trucks. It was all, the concrete was, the truck backed up, everything was moved by tools, and then I got a video of walking bricks across the yard, because where are you gonna get trucks in the middle of Africa? So that's that, but that was a while ago. And a little bit of working out in 2020, and now we're here after the pandemic trying to get back into shape and trying to burn some time so I can get some energy back. But I think my excuses are up now, so let's get back on it. We'll do 1 or 2 more of these sets, and then we're gonna call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one feels much better.
Oh, yeah.
And again, you can make any weight feel heavy if you control the motions. Doing 5 reps, a third the speed, is better than doing 10 reps with 3 times the weight. Moving all that weight looks cool for videos, looks cool when other people are watching in the gym. Ask Ronnie Coleman what lifting all that weight does when you get up into your 40s and then 50s. Look how much my arms are shaking just from this. This is 25 pounds. This weighs less than each of my arms. And this feels like it's gonna fall on my head. Wouldn't that be a cool video? Hey, we finally went viral. Thank God we only had 25 pounds. It didn't make them completely stupid, it just made them uglier. Or in my case, prettier. But then at least I'd have a story. Yeah, I think we'll do one more after this, just for the sake of burning a few more calories. Yeah.
So the reason I asked how long he had worked out before is he took 2 years off, and I think most people watching this would agree that looking at Chris, he still has muscle mass on his body, and quite round muscle bellies for that matter. Not to pump his own tires, he doesn't need his head to explode, but
yeah, that's true.
I just want you guys to understand that all that work that you do, it's almost like if you ran a business and something happened and it didn't end up working out. All that experience that you got, you keep it. Like you could lose everything, have nothing but a shirt on your back, but you still keep it. It's the same with building muscle, and that's why it's one of my favorite things, because if you're next to 20 different people, but you put in all those years of work, it stays with you. Even if you don't work out for years, you eat kind of like shit. Sorry for swearing. But you'll retain it, and then if you lose it, take a couple years off, you'll get it back way quicker because your body's used to contracting those muscles. You know how to work them. That mind-muscle connection is with you.
I really got to hit on this point. None of this is scripted, but do you notice how every time we talk about anything on our channels, everything when it comes to success sounds the same. You put in the work, you make mistakes. Sometimes it doesn't go as planned, but you always go forward with more knowledge. Isn't that what he just said? And then he related it to business. Every time you think you're not winning, or maybe it looks like you failed, you take what you did wrong, or the time you took off between businesses, you come back with another business even stronger because of what you did in the past. You lay down the groundwork up front. You front load your efforts, you front load your investments, whether it's your time in the gym, your money and time into a business, the time into a relationship. You always build a stronger version of it later on down the road. This is, probably the one single point that transcends all of our videos. It always comes down to the fact that the more effort you put in, the more you get out, and the failures are just as important, if not more important, than the success, because the success doesn't happen until you realize what you did wrong and you correct it. No one gets it right the first time.
One thing I'll say too is throughout my life, obviously we all have our ups and downs. No matter what stage of my life I was at, school, restarting multiple careers, having to move back in with my parents, doesn't matter what it was, fitness was always like my baseline. It was like you build off of that. So once you build a consistent fitness regimen, I would take all those same principles of working hard, being disciplined, being dedicated, being consistent, and apply those to my school, to my work, to everything, your relationships. And it was always the building block for me. It was like my baseline, if you will. And then I'll notice anytime I'm not being consistent in the gym, I stop being consistent in other areas of my life as well. It just goes to show it's a great springboard.
And I guess just the working out aspect, the moment you start incorporating physical activity, you don't got to be the strongest in the gym. I don't care that Greg's leaner than me. I don't care that he's taller than me. I can't be Greg and all what he's good at. The best I can do is be the best version of me. So you get in here, you create the best version of you. It doesn't matter if I hit 5% like a bodybuilder. It doesn't matter if I'm not 6'1". What matters is tomorrow I'm better than I was today. I don't give a shit what the Instagram models look like. I don't have the ability to look like them because one, they're gonna do it through surgery, possibly by chemical means, and we don't even have the same genetic makeup. I don't care what they look like. And then they add Photoshop. Do I look Photoshop? Hell no. No one really wants to look like me, but I don't give a shit. I'm in here trying to make the best version of me. I'm gonna be better tomorrow than I was today because I already know I'm better today than I was tomorrow. You wanna know why? Because I slept really well last night because of yesterday's workout. The more of these I'm getting into, the more regular my sleep pattern is, and I cannot stress. I mean, you're in sales, so when you have to pound the pavement to actually create sales, because that's directly responsible for your income, your revenue, a good night's sleep is everything. He doesn't even want to be here this late at night. I dragged him out. His workout's earlier in the day, but the gym is emptier so we can film at night. He should be on his third dream by now, because he has to be up, what, 5:30, 6 o'clock?
Yeah, that's what I try for anyways.
To generate that revenue. But he came out to help you give his perspective, because mine, not everybody wants to hear. I'm gonna do one more so we can get him out of here. All right. And I do apologize for my sloppy form. I can tell that my arms are deviating a little bit. Those stabilizers aren't back yet. I promise that'll be corrected within 3 or 4 chest workouts. I actually love this video because you guys can critique me and I can also go back and watch my flaws because that's how you get better. All right, throw it back to Greg for one final set. And then we're out of here.
Out of here. And for those of you guys watching, because this video will obviously be edited and cut up so it could be in a consumable amount of time, we've been filming and moving cameras and stuff, and we've still maybe been here for an hour and 15 minutes. So people are always gonna say there's not enough time. 30 minutes a day, 5 to 6 days a week. If you don't have that much time for bettering your health and fitness, then I don't think you really got time for much.
And that's exactly it. If you got time to take 3 coffee breaks a day, if you got time to go on social media to complain, if you got time to get together for drinks, which is detrimental to your health, you have time to get to the gym. Like he said, 5 or 6 days a week. That is a dedication, I will admit. Let's start with being there more days than you're not.
Yeah.
7 days a week. The moment you hit day 4, you've done more days than you took off. That's the best start, because that's training your body to expect more often than not, you're putting your body under stress. And that tells your body to do certain things with what it's working with. If it has stored fats, guess what? Instead of storing more, what it gets used to doing is releasing it into the bloodstream, so you have more energy during the day because you've told your body you're expending more energy. You either have a negative feedback loop when you feed your body the wrong things, don't sleep properly, up your cortisol and all that kind of stuff, or you can have a positive feedback loop, which is continue training and your body says, oh, we're going to be under stress tomorrow. Don't store that fat, keep it easily accessible so we can release into the bloodstream, so we can get that pump, so we can be more energetic and we can do a 45-minute, 60-minute workout. I know this seems like it's overly complicated, but it really isn't. That's the science behind it. But what you get is a better life. You get better sleep, you got a better mindset, you can attack the day, especially if you're an entrepreneur. I cannot stress, as an entrepreneur, your days are gonna get packed up. You don't have 8-hour days. That's a 9 to 5 thing. Entrepreneurs do not know an 8-hour day or a 5-day week. That is it. A good entrepreneur, on average, is 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. Make that hour 3, 4, 5 times a week, and I guarantee you your sales will get better, your management will get better, your time management, your sleep management, one of the biggest things I've noticed is that when you start working out, you don't even consider putting crap in your body because you know you're gonna go backwards. When you think, oh, I'm gonna go grab that bag of chips, you're like, why would I do that? I just got back from the gym.
I want fuel.
I want real fuel because I know that putting those chips in your body, you don't lean up like this. Why would I waste the workout that I just went through and all those gains I'm gonna have? No, I'm gonna put protein in, I can still put carbs in. None of that no carb shit. I don't care what they're trying to sell you. The reality is you need your carbs. So if you wanna add something cool, otherwise we're gonna call this a day.
One super quick thing, just because I'm assuming from the demographic of people that'll be on this channel, a lot of people in business, entrepreneurs.
Oh, we've got lots.
People wanting to just better themselves. One thing I'll say is a lot of what you see on Instagram, you gotta realize I have friends that work in fitness for a living, whether through coaching, influencing, you name it, like that's their life. They have great genetics, they work very hard at it, but you gotta realize that's their life. And one of my mottos has always been, going to the gym and being in fitness should be a part of your life. It shouldn't be your life. Because again, I wouldn't want me being a quote unquote gym rat unless I'm, again, competing or doing it for my income to affect my work, my relationships, and my enjoyment and fulfillment of life. So I've been in the gym for about 7 or 8 years now, and I'm not trying to brag, but I started when I was 17, and again, I had a lot more time in my life then, so I was a lot more into it, and I got to build a good base. But yeah, it should be a part of your life, it shouldn't be your life. And again, all that initial work I put in now, I actually eat pretty much whatever I want right now, and I'm not actually not,
yeah, I hate you.
I'm not bragging, but I actually don't really like the way I look right now. I don't usually put myself out there, like I'm not the one to post me working out online and stuff, but if people watching this could get anything from it, any inspiration, if it inspires one person that's younger, older, maybe feels like they should be more fit, maybe they're in business and they want to get more energy, whatever it is, that's kind of why I'm here today, and I appreciate Chris and Mac for giving me the opportunity to be here. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, man. And I will stress that he doesn't flex on Instagram, you know, about his physique and stuff like that. He came out because I requested it, because the way he attacks life is much the way I did 15 years ago. I'm just showing you the 25-year-old version of me. Obviously not looks-wise, but where it started. This was me 15, 16 years ago, obviously a height difference. but he's doing all the right things. So when you guys see someone like him retired at 35, it's because he put in the work now. It wasn't from winning the lottery. It was not from being handed cash. It's because you put in the time, you front loaded that time, that effort, and your lifestyle to make sure you had retirement security, whatever words people like to use, by the time you're in your early to mid 30s. Guys like this are retired in their mid 30s. That's just the way it is. That's the results of putting in what he just described as the full building of the life. He doesn't even have to eat that well because he takes care of himself that well, goes to sleep early, focuses on a task at hand and executes. He doesn't wake up and say, I don't want to go to my 9 to 5.
One thing I'll say as well, just to finish this off, a little cherry on top is, if you are very successful and you're watching this, or you're on a path to be very financially successful, you do not want to be the guy, or gal I should say, in the Rolls Royce with the saggy tits or the floppy arms. Like, you want to be fit. Don't, kill yourself nearly putting in all this work to get to a certain level of status, and your health is so deteriorated you can't even enjoy it. So please, that's why you got to take care of yourself on the way, because once you can buy that nice boat, drive that nice car, travel to those nice places, you want to look good, feel good, and have confidence. That's all.
Right on, Greg.
Okay, thanks, man.
So, producer Mac, Greg, I'm Chris. We are out. Thanks for tuning in.